Basic Training, in SmartMind4. The Basic Training Clinician screen can be configured for any EEG frequency band of at least 2 Hz between 0.5 Hz and 48 Hz. The Basic Training screen provides 2 filters, which can be applied as 2 filters on one channel, or 1 filter for each of 2 channels. Filter controls. The filter controls vary slightly between the clinician screens. For instance, only the Basic Training Clinician screen actually displays the raw amplitude signal. Filter number button allows the user to disable the filter completely. If this box is disabled, then no data will be recorded for this filter and the filter will not factor into the assessment of goal criteria. Disabling a filter completely may be useful if the clinician screen has more filters available than are necessary for your training protocol. When feedback checkbox is checked, the filter data will factor into the assessment of goal criteria, and filter statistics will save with the patient data. When feedback is disabled, data from the set frequency range is still saved, but the data will not factor into the assessment of the goal criteria. Channel dropdown chooses which channel this filter uses for its input. Also displays the currently set sensor placement for the selected channel. Max UV determines the ceiling of the vertical scale as measured in microvolts, that is used to set the maximum range of the graph. You will be unable to set the max UV to a setting that is less than the currently set threshold value. Above or below chooses the player's goal to be above or below the threshold. Also displays the % of time the player met that goal since starting feedback. Above would be the desired setting if you wish to reward, increase, or uptrain a particular bandwidth. Below would be the desired setting to inhibit, decrease, or downtrain an EEG filter. Frequency allows you to select the EEG frequency range that will be measured. You adjust this using the mouse to change the min and max settings in order to set the upper and lower boundaries of the frequency range desired. This can also be changed using the Settings, then Filter Frequency menu from the top of the screen. Displayed statistics. Amplitude displays the current amplitude of the signal. Amplitude is defined as the absolute value of the maximum displacement from a zero value, during one period of an oscillation. Amplitude is a measure of the power of the EEG signal in microvolts. Mean 10s displays a mean for the last 10 seconds interval of amplitude data. Total mean displays the total mean value of the gathered amplitude since the last reset. Sustained displays the maximum amount of time that the player has sustained the set goal since the last reset. Amplitude bars and reward signal. Raw displays the amplitude level of the input signal for that channel. This display does not accommodate for any artifact detection and/or suppressed amplitude based on artifact detection. Corrected displays the corrected amplitude level of the input signal for that channel. This display does accommodate for artifact detection and suppresses amplitude variation based on artifact detection. Also displayed is a numerical value of the set threshold level, by which the player's goals are measured. Filter oscilloscope displays the signal waveform for the filter. Graphs on turns the graph display on or off. Feedback options. Visual feedback enables and disables star feedback. This includes the MPL display. The star will appear gold when both filters' goals are being met. The star will appear red when neither filter's goals are being met, or when excessive facial activity occurs. The star will change to the color blue if only the criteria for filter 1 is met, and will change to green if only the criteria for filter 2 is being met. The star will display a number in its center. This number denotes the number of seconds that the goal has been continuously achieved. This number will reset any time the star changes color. Max goal time, % goal time, last sustained. This represents important information about the goal used to measure an individual's progress. Typically, the goal is to have a gold star, which represents that you are succeeding on all filters, but since filters can be disabled, This can change depending on your settings. M represents the maximum seconds the goal was sustained. P equals the percentage of time the goal was sustained, and L is the length of time the goal was sustained the last time the goal was achieved. Note that L will only reset if the goal was sustained for 1 second or longer. This provides a way for the trainee to attempt to exceed their last best sustained burst of activity that met the goal. Audio feedback enables and disables audio star feedback. You can find the audio feedback settings by using Settings, then Audio Feedback. This brings up a dialog which the trainer uses to choose generally pleasing sounds for use as auditory feedback in EEG training. Lower pitched or more distracting sound patterns are also provided, to enable the trainer to set auditory feedback that signals to the player that he or she has been in a non-targeted brain wave pattern, for a specified amount of time. That time can be set by setting the threshold timer. If the player is in a targeted brain wave pattern, the positive auditory feedback will play immediately, regardless of the threshold timer. Star Gold allows audio to be chosen for when the star is gold. Star Red allows audio to be chosen for when the star is red. The Advanced section allows the trainer to configure audio feedback settings for the individual filters. More information about the Advanced Audio Feedback menu are provided in the SmartMind help documentation. Menu options. Begin will start a new open session. Pause will pause the current session. Resume will continue the current session. Reset will clear all graphs, data, and timers. Start session will open the menu to run a baseline assessment. Save settings will save the current filter threshold configuration. Save data saves the current open session data. Print data displays a quick one-page summary report of the current data. Quick graph displays a graph based on the most recent session's frequency settings and sensor placements. Summary displays the current basic training data. Presets allows the trainer to create and select presets for training. Use Exit to close the basic training screen. If you have any questions, you can submit a support ticket to Brain Train Technical Support at braintrainhelp.com.